Today we're making God's eyes. It's a quick, easy craft project that is great for scrap busting and stash busting, using up little bits of yarn. The supplies are super easy to get, and it is something great to do with kids. Let's go. God's eyes are incredibly easy to make. All you need is sticks. When I was a kid, we used popsicle sticks, but literally any stick. They can be any length. Generally, you want them to be vaguely about the same length, but that's not necessary. And any string or fibrous material. You could use cut out t-shirts, you could use grass. I'm going to use some just random yarn that I had around. Now, to start, make a slip knot or any sort of loop. Does not really matter what you're doing here. All you need to do, what you're doing is getting these two sticks tied together. Get your knot at about the center point. Twist them so that you have a cross shape. Now, pick a place to start. Go around the first stick, around and over the second stick, around over the third, around and over the fourth. Now you can kind of see a diamond pattern starting here in the center. We're just going to keep doing that. This is literally all there is to making a God's eye. Just keep repeating this pattern around and over. And these can be as rustic or as fancy as you like. I have seen God's eye jewelry made with metal and wire. This is a very useful pattern to know, the God's eye pattern, if you are making rib baskets, because this is a good way to connect two hoops together. It is useful for all sorts of decorative applications. I mean, honestly, it is a fun and simple, almost meditative craft to do. The Huichol people, or Huichol people who invented God's eyes and first started making them as we know them, considered them symbolic, and making them was a sort of prayer. By the way, when you run out of one yarn, or you just decide that you've gone far enough, you can tie a knot. And if you're doing this with kids, or if this is your first time, then I would actually recommend that. I usually just hold the string in place, take the next yarn you've got. Yeah, I don't tend to use a lot of knots in my stuff, so I just wind it around, hold it in place, but feel free to tie a knot if you want to. The next few times you wrap around will secure the ends, and just continue the pattern. Like I said, it's very, very relaxing, very simple craft to do. Notice here I am wrapping around the ends with my new string. The way these can be as rustic or as fancy as you want. You can use any kind of string-like substance, as I said. You could even wind beads on it. You could change color every single round around if you wanted to. I like them looking like kind of rustic. If you use the thicker of a fiber you use, to wind, the faster this will go. And so if you're doing this with kids, then I'd recommend using a thick yarn like this, or even thicker. You can use twine, rope, whatever. But if you want it to look a little bit more genteel and refined, well, you can do that too. Well, I could keep going, but I think that this is probably enough for now. I'm going to tie a little knot to finish it off. And ta-da! I've made a God's eye. I can keep going. I could add tassels or decorations to this. Probably trim these off to make it look a little bit neater. You can add a loop to hang it and stick it in the ground. Whatever. You can. There's a lot that you can do with God's eyes. As I said, I made this one earlier with the parts of the same stick. So these two are kind of rustic. I made this with some finer thread, and this is just a variegated thread, so I didn't actually have to change the color. The yarn did it for me. It's actually this crochet yarn, and I used skewers as the support. And if you want to really challenge yourself, instead of just doing 2, you could even do 3. And as you can see, I used different colors of variegated threads here, so this is a more refined sort of God's eye. Yeah, just make it your own. And that's it. That's how you make a God's eye. Thanks for joining me here at Make Men Grow. Like and subscribe for more content. And until then, have a good time making your God's eyes.